Hello all, welcome back to my channel. For this video, I want to go back in time, way back, through my ever-evolving style, if you can call it that. Before mom life, I had way too much time on my hands, so I combed through hundreds, thousands of photo shoots I did, and I want to take you through each look, from blue hair to black hair to red hair and being goth all those years. Are you ready? Let's dive in. Goth days. I've been every form of goth, except maybe pastel goth. I am 17 or 18 here, got my choker, my Amy Lee boots, really loved Evanescence, really loved Within Temptation, so that's sort of how this came about. My piss poor dye job. I had a friend in hair school. She was going to school to be a stylist, work in a salon. Anyway, she did that to my head in New York. I had my jewelry, my big skull ring that has the word Eclipthos carved into the back. For those of you that don't know, that was the name of my fantasy epic book trilogy that was never finished. Here, my hair is red again, and I'm dressed like a ninja in the forest with a sword. Why? I don't know. That sword and that top came from New York, actually. The top did not fit my tiny body, so we had it tailored in New York to sort of fit better. Ah, the cemetery. My favorite place other than forest to be photographed. The wings, the cloak, the faux Hot Topic corsets. I was so hot all the time, and I don't mean sexy, but that too. Ah, favorite. Renaissance goth. That big old rock of a necklace that I still have, actually. One of the few bits of jewelry that survived from that time, that and my horned bull necklace. I curled my hair, put on a real corset, and had these taken. The sunset was perfect. I did go through a phase in which I collected severed heads. The one on the right with the red hair was named Gagged Gabby, and she was custom made to look like me. And the one on the left was Stephanie. Yes, I named them. And traveled with them. Leather pants in my backyard. There's not a lot of great scenery where we live. Believe it or not, that skirt is the same skirt I had in the first image. I could still wear it all those years later. It was the only one like it I found at a thrift store, so I just hung on to it forever. My hair had black streaks in it at this time. Then here, we're like cheese puff red. We're in a good old pair of Trip pants. Trip with 2 T's, back when Hot Topic actually sold goth stuff. This cloak actually went with the skirt, and it had one of those puffy things you wear under it. The corset was also real and super uncomfortable. I wore that corset one cold winter in New York, and my hips were exposed and chafed, but that didn't stop me from wearing it and a skirt. I was mental. Overall thoughts, while I loved my time as the Queen of Darkness, I am so glad I moved on. It was a special time, and I could probably pull it off much better these days. I mean, my makeup skills have improved. I never used to use foundation. It'd be more put together, but I got a kid, and I cannot chase him around in a corset and Trip pants. The Perm. Also known as one of the worst decisions of my life. I see my smile, knowing the devastation to follow, and I hurt inside. I had no idea what I was getting into. I thought I was gonna have flowing beach waves. This guy, this mother had the same name as Fernando. I remember us laughing about it, thinking, oh, what a coincidence. He kept putting this chemical on my head. And he got a phone call and he answered it, and he just kept putting more and more and more. I remember him saying, oh, your hair is so thick, you need more. That's what it did. That's the result. It pulled my hair into these tight, awful curls, and it occurred to me almost immediately after that I looked like Carrot Top. What a horrible realization that you can't take back. We got on a plane for New Zealand the next day, and I'm a pretty good sport. But I was telling myself any lie I'd believe, and the one that I clung to was, yeah, you look like a hobbit. 'Cause, you know, they have curly hair. I mean, those are my bangs. What in the fresh hell? That's the beautiful landscape of New Zealand and Cookie Monster. That's how it looked all brushed out. It was damaged beyond human comprehension. Me at the Weta Museum just dealing. Huge Lord of the Rings fan. You can see I got the one ring around my neck and that huge mound on my head. I am sorry, but I never really got over the travesty that was done to me. No comment. This was a Lord of the Rings sort of outdoor tour where we walked through locations in New Zealand. They'd shot scenes or publicity stills. I still really didn't know the damage done. Then I came home and I woke up with this every day. Every single day, and straightening it did almost nothing. I went back to Canada to visit Fernando. He was stuck there, the in-between, before he got his visa to come back to the States. At this point, I dyed my hair brown, but you can still see the awful result. Conclusion, don't get a perm. They're ugly. They look good on no one. They are of Satan. Blueberry hair. The only sane thing to do after growing my hair out for a while and realizing that didn't work was to chop it all off and dye it blue. This was before crazy feminists everywhere were dyeing their hair and chopping it off, but close enough to the time where I was worried people would think I was a lesbian. A crazy, left-wing lesbian. The problem with this look, other than I looked like Papa Smurf every time I recolored my hair, was how quickly it faded. It was 2016, I was re-leaning back into my darker gothic look days. With such a vibrant, wild color you need to keep on top of your look. Luckily, I was using foundation. Unfortunately, it was Kat Von D full coverage. It was heavy, drying, really accentuated the wrinkles on my forehead. You can already see it fading. I would also do my eyebrows in blue. Funny story, I actually started trimming my eyebrows when I did them in blue, and I almost trimmed the left one completely off. So I had this weird graying color and no eyebrows. You can kind of see it here. I was listening to Hailstorm a lot. That's where the punk rock look would come in and all the dark lipstick. There you go. There it is. I don't know that if it was intentional, it'd have looked that bad, but to unintentionally tweeze off a whole brow, this was the in-between color. It was starting to get long enough where I was sort of vibing. I felt like a rebel. I did actually love the faded look. When I look at pictures, I miss it. Of course, it took me years to grow it out, so I would not do it that short. And I don't know if I have the patience to do it blue again, but it was really fun to play with for a short period of time. Paint it black. Where do you go from blue? Easy! Black! Cover that shit! I softened up my look a bit. Was doing more natural looks and pastels. My thing has always been to change it up, so whenever I would do another color, I could reinvent my makeup looks, old clothes, get new clothes. Black is a pretty drastic, fun color to work with. I still used Kat Von D for my foundation, but I was trying all sorts of new stuff with my eyeliner to try and find what works for my eyes. Incredible to me, it took till 2016 for me to start playing with my makeup, because when I was goth is when I really needed those skills. I had some good eyeshadow palettes by now, Urban Decay, Tarte, etc., etc. I stopped putting foundation on my forehead, so it just looks really red and weird. But I thought it was better than the Frankenstein wrinkles. This, like most of my eyeshadow looks, was a total accident, and probably the smokiest that I've ever got my eyes to look. I don't mess with black eyeshadows to this day, but I like this look. I am not good enough to recreate any look that I do. I'm still really a gothic rocker type babe at heart. I'm gonna have to retry this someday because the eyeliner was so on point and the colors. I was doing this odd thing where I was like pulling my bangs back into a tiny ponytail because I was sick of their length and like tired of the way that they looked. Still have those glam kitty ears and that necklace. This was the look of choice for seeing Ricky Gervais stand up in Chicago. I got probably one of my favorite compliments ever that night when I was going into a gas station to use the restroom. There was a black guy coming out as I came in, and he looked me up and down and he said, "Damn, girl, you fine." To this day, I still think about that because at that point of the night, my makeup had been on for like the whole day, like 12 hours or something, and I thought it was cakey and smeared, but apparently I was looking fine. My hair was getting some brown through it because I was being lazy and my style was shifting. Look at that wrinkly forehead. I still have that necklace and I wish I had the dress because it was hot. I have no idea where that thing is now. I was struggling here, contorting in any way I could to push that boob up, and I'm so proud of how the shot turned out. You don't know what it's like not having boobs. It's rough. As my black hair got longer, I ping-ponged between lighter colors and more grunge looks. Damn, that foundation is just so cakey. I don't recommend it. My sparkly blazer, I still have that, and I love the eyeshadow palette I used for this image. That is the Wet n Wild Au Naturel. Nice rosy colors. The yellow always gets me, or the yellowish gold with the red lips. Then a more natural look with a red pop. I think my hair has been black a total of 3 or 4 times in my life, and it is always such a bitch dyeing it back to red or brown. Speaking of red, red. I went Ronald McDonald red, and this I actually think about going back to all the time. I was, I guess you could say, inspired by Jaclyn Glenn, now Jaclyn Frank, or rather, infatuated. I love her YouTube channel, and I have this uber crush on her, so I was watching her a lot before she got married and had her adorable baby boy, Asher. Anyway, it's why I dyed it this red. By now, I was using a different foundation. I think it was Revlon. I did not even attempt to have red eyebrows. They looked fine brown. Hers were brown. I did a Bowie Gaga tribute to Bowie look. I had a lot of fun with it. You can do random like this when you ain't got kids, and this is the kind of stuff that I would do. I still find time for stuff like this because in truth, when you have children, you lose nothing. You actually gain a much deeper appreciation for life, but I digress. The red felt so extreme that it didn't feel right in photos unless I teased the hell out of it, which looked so good when my roots started growing back in. Because I mean, let's be real. Red fades. Even a natural red fades faster than any other color, so you gotta be able to be flexible with it. The crown of flowers. I had purchased this around Easter and wore it a lot during that time period. Fast forward to 2020, I had gone back to my natural color, which was dark brown, and this was the year of my pregnancy. This is the year that I really feel like I came into my own and got the most comfortable with my appearance that I have ever been. Feeling womanly. My face filled out, not a lot, just a little, and my hair would curl. It was growing out, but short enough to be cute, and I loved my body in a way that I never had before, particularly my bosoms. They were, how do you say, quite ample, and having never really dealt with that in my life, I was like very excited. My bump, my tiny baby bump, it gave me so much joy, and my hips widened and set. Granted, it felt like my pelvic floor was gonna fall out through my but I went up 2 or 3 sizes in jeans because of my pregnancy. I had the best clothes at that time, or maybe it was just because they were bigger mediums. I was thrilled to fit into a medium, and I had these long flowy shirts. I didn't need to shop maternity because my mom passed down all her stylish clothes she didn't wear to me. Everything from my shoulders on down just glowed. These are a couple of my favorite pictures I took during that miserable time. The highlights were definitely boobs, hips, and Sam kicking. Fernando and I got a hotel on Valentine's Day to celebrate our last time alone together. I bought this pretty slip and silky robe. It was February 14th. Sam was literally due in 2 months, and I felt freaking fabulous, looks-wise. Physically, I could not push this baby out fast enough. My favorite slip. I'm not wearing any makeup there. I didn't need to. I had boobs. I leaned on them titties, let me tell you. It must be great to have a strong, real pair you can push up before you go out. Me, I'm always trying to work with something to make up for the lack thereof. Not in these images, baby. It's Bazoomba Fest 2020. My outfit for Sam's baby shower. One of the best days of my life. Looking beautiful, but you can tell that I'm over it. Same here in this picture. I was about to pop, which is exactly how it feels. And this was the day after birthing Sam. I was in full-on goddess mode. No makeup, and I felt like a damn queen. I was a ruler of the universe. I could do anything. I continued to grow my hair out and just enjoy my skin, my legs, my hips. Even though my chest shrunk back down to nothing, I'm in a really happy, pretty place. This is where I am now. I've been buying new clothes, rediscovering my style, and trying new things. From leggings to crop tops and baggy button-downs. I've even found some really nice bodysuits to tuck into waist-high jeans. Like, I'm living for waist-high jeans. Now that my hair's got this long, I'm playing with it a lot more too. Like parting it on one side, straightening it every single day, and experimenting with luscious curls. I'm still working on those. But I figure if I've got the hair, I should play with it, style it. I bought myself a ponyo for Christmas, which I love, and the bun bars a couple of months later, and now I've trained myself to do really cute buns. It's taken practice because the length of my hair is so, but it's been worth it. I highly recommend ponyos and bun bars. This is one of my bodysuits and high-waisted jeans. It's fun, colorful, goes good with my Betsy Johnson jewelry. Then, of course, I have always loved blazers and picked up a few at Ross's. #dress4less. That's where most of the clothes featured in these images comes from, Burke's or Ross's. And the Anastasia Beverly Hills Subculture palette is like my favorite eyeshadow palette. That's where this gold eye look comes from, and then the next couple of looks. It's seriously so versatile. I love Anastasia Beverly Hills. Oh, and I use Il Makiage foundation, Woke Up Like This shade in medium coverage. It is the only foundation I've found so far that I can use on my forehead and it doesn't show off those wrinkles. The ponyo in action, holding up my hair, which is saying something. Then a cute pink crop top. Did I say I'm so into crop tops right now? 'Cause I am. Now these are some natural, no makeup looks. I did not have a skincare routine before. Shocking, I know. I had never washed my face a day in my life, so I started and I use a daily cleanser and moisturizer, which have done wonders for my skin. It's dewy, soft, and so clear. The daily cleanser is an Equate brand, and the moisturizer is Revlon. I try to smile more to create more natural looks, but that does not mean that there aren't days that I don't do a full look. I have so much makeup and so many cute clothes now, I can do something different every day. And it is one of the ways I reward myself. I like to start my day getting clean, fixing my hair, playing with an eyeshadow palette, liner, foundation, lipstick. Because it's hard for women, beautiful as I felt during and after my pregnancy. You've got to remind yourself that you are a gorgeous queen. Well, that took longer than I thought, but I hope you enjoyed it. I will link some of these stores, makeup palettes, foundations, etc. that I used in case you want to try some of these products for yourself. Thanks for joining me on this journey, and until next time, bye.